Alini, if you want a man with a bigger heart and an even bigger wallet, I don't think you're gonna find one on Love is Blind.
What jolts you awake? What keeps you up? Stay in touch with me if you can.
Hello and welcome to Life Lessons and Confession, the channel where we figure out our power by figuring out ourselves. Whether you're a new or returning viewer, welcome. Please don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, as well as the bell notification. So we're gonna continue with a review of Love is Blind US Season 9. This will be episode 7 through 9. The episode begins with Madison crying her eyes out. Joe has been freaking her out. He got drunk at the pool party and now he is inebriated. At first I was like, Joe's drunk, Madison. Just let him take a second, take a minute. But now I'm like, is he actually punking her? Because it feels intentional. During their interaction, when she was hiding in the back, he mentioned how it's funny. And she thought he was talking to her. I just wish Madison would have just been quiet a little bit longer for Joe to reveal himself. I don't think he's drunk. I think he's just playing games with her and using the I'm drunk as an excuse. Now, Jordan and Megan talk, and Megan talks about the fact that she wants to be sort of like in a power couple dynamic. I'm like, Megan, you are not the only woman who wants to be in a power couple dynamic, especially when you're an intelligent woman. However, Jordan is not it. I said this in Love is Blind France, and I'm going to say this to you, Megan. If you want to be in a power couple dynamic, you need to choose a partner who exudes the same amount of power. That's how it works. You cannot come into the relationship as the more, let me not say powerful. Jordan is powerful in his own way, but he does not exude what society deems power couple. Unfortunately, that's Mike, but Mike is an a-hole. So if you wanted that, you should have chose Mike. But I actually think your relationship with Jordan is fine. It's fine for you to be the smart, powerful woman next to a jester. That's fine. It works. All right. Don't get in your head too much, Megan. So the camera pans to Calibri and Edmund. And Calibria says she has been very stubborn in the past and she has held something against her partner. And she wants to get over what happened between her and Edmund last night. I get it. You've been stubborn and you may have held a grudge. But what happened last night is a reason for you to hold a grudge. This is not the time for you to be passive, let go. Most of the time when people come on Love is Blind, you know, life has been hard and they're trying to do things differently. Now is not the time for you to do things differently. I am sorry. This man is emotionally immature and emotionally unstable. That is scary. He's unpredictable. You don't know what to expect. And he's dangerous. All right? Do not let that childish innocence fool you. At first, I thought it was just him being comfortable with being eccentric. No, he's childish. And a man who is childish, who has a childish mind, but the strength of an adult man is dangerous. It doesn't matter. I don't care how unassuming they look. They are dangerous. They are still strong. No, this is not the time for you to be giving the benefit of the doubt or any second chances. I just hope she gets out of that situation. Get Edmund off my screen. Okay, so the camera pans to Nick and Anna. And at first they're having a really good conversation. They understand each other. They're always like, I love you too. Okay, Nick and Anna. Nick and Annie. Annie gets mad and she gets frustrated by Nick. But the thing is, she can't express why she's getting frustrated. Annie, you're getting frustrated because you know he's not into you. You can't put it into words because he hasn't outwardly done anything wrong. He's just giving you a bunch of empty compliments that is not tailored to you as a person. Oh, you're beautiful. You're smart. You're caring. Nice stuff. Shallow, empty compliments that mean nothing at the end of the day. That's why you're getting mad. And you may have realized he wants this type of arrangement, but because of your own upbringing, you can't see it. I'm going to cut Baha short, all right? The couples go to the real world, and Jordan and Megan, they get into their new apartment in Denver, Colorado. I didn't know Colorado looked like that. They have sort of like an argument, but it's very difficult to have an argument with a jester. Megan is feeling overwhelmed because she doesn't know how she'll be able to fit in Jordan's son's life. His name is Luca. Or if the mother of the child will even accept her. And Jordan says the most condescending way, but I think he actually thinks he's being reassuring. It's fine. Don't worry about it. That is so annoying. That is so annoying to hear. Like, Megan is sapiosexual, and I feel pretty confident in giving this advice because I am one myself, but this is not just limited to sapiosexual women. When someone who tends to be in their mind, is just what I would say, is worried or concerned about an idea or an outcome, it is because they don't have enough information about that outcome. So her concern comes from a lack of information. And Jordan saying it's going to be fine, don't worry about it, it's so empty, it's so shallow, and it's so condescending. And I'm going to try and break it down for some people who might be like, imagine, right? You are in your job, whatever specific job is. Let's make it stereotypical masculine. About you're a construction worker, you know how to build houses, you've been doing it for 20 plus years, you know the ins and outs. And your wife is a baker. But then in one of your construction jobs, maybe one of the pillars that holds the foundation, I don't know any details about this, okay? Maybe one of the pillars that holds the foundation is bad or something. It's going to pull your job back. It's going to take a longer time to process, or getting those materials. They're not going to come in on time for you to finish the house or maybe do some stuff. And you're concerned about it. You're worried about it because, you know, the job is not going to get done in a timely manner, or you don't have the necessary material. And your wife was a baker is like, oh, honey, don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. How condescending is that? I know this job is going to require X amount of money, X amount of time, X amount of manpower. And you come to me as someone who knows nothing about my field and tries to reassure me by telling me it's going to be fine. You have no plan in sight. You've never done this before. You know nothing about this. That is how it comes across when men, and I do have to make this gender specific because there are a lot of men who feel like it is their job to reassure their woman partners because they are the man. Yet you know nothing about what I'm dealing with. You don't know anything. It's not your field. You don't know what's going on. But because I'm the man, I am the protector. Let me protect you and reassure you. It's gonna be fine, babe. That's so annoying. That is so condescending. Please stop doing that. I know why Jordan is doing it. It is a very common heterosexual cisgender men thing to feel like my job is to reassure my woman and tell her it's gonna be fine when the woman's head is just turning. It's like, how do you know it's going to be fine? You're giving me no plans. You know nothing about this, but you're just like, it's going to be fine. Please stop doing that. That's actually condescending. I did like that after that conversation, he did give her a point of direction by telling her, Luca likes playing in the park. Luca likes soccer. He likes games. He likes spaceship. That's what he should have started with, instead of giving this empty blanket statement of, it's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. It's just like, give me concrete reasons or a plan. Or even if you don't have a plan, like something I can point to make a plan. Instead of all these empty words that at the end of the day, they mean nothing. And I really wanted to preface it in their connection because I know Megan is a sapiosexual, so she tends to be in her head. Most of the time when a woman she tends to be very mind focused. When she is worried, it is because she has a lack of information about a certain thing. And the best thing to always do in that instance is to give her the information you know. Saying you don't know much, but I know this is enough. You don't need to do all these empty gestures of it's going to be fine, don't worry about it. It's actually very annoying. And this might not be just limited to sapiosexual women, by the way. So going into episode 8, we have Alini coming back from her night shift. She's a night shift nurse. Anton also works night shift, so they're both up at night. He's making mimosas and breakfast for them. And she asks him if this is what they're going to be doing every day. He says yes. She does say it would be nice for their private chef to do it. And I'm just like, Alini, if you want a man with a bigger heart and an even bigger wallet, I don't think you're going to find one on Love is Blind. This might be unpopular, but I actually think Alini is here to grow her social media following and for men or means to slide into her DM. And there's nothing wrong with that. She definitely has the looks for it. Anton does talk about whether they will have a joint account or a separate account. And I thought this was a really nice conversation because I was always of the belief couples have a joint account for the household and a separate account for like fun money. Apparently, he was disturbed by that. I thought that has always been the case. Because you don't want someone questioning every single purchase you're making. And in the same breath, you don't want to just have one joint account for, let's say, you purchase something and, well, you should never have not enough to pay the bills. So that's the prerequisite there. I actually thought having separate accounts, but then one household joint account was what most people did. So I was kind of taken aback by this. Eleni also talked about how she plans on going back to school. So if he cooks, she cleans, or she cooks, he cleans, she might not be able to do that while she's in school. She just wants to focus on her schooling. And the previous time when she was in school, her mother was the one who took care of the household chores. Anton did not like this one bit. He didn't say anything. And it goes back to what I said when these two were first introduced. I said, those labels y'all are assigning to each other is going to bite you in the butt. Remember in the past, Anton said he's a provider. Eleni said she's a nurturer. Again, a bunch of empty words that mean absolutely nothing. There are multiple ways to provide. And most of the time when men say they're the provider, they mean financially. However, you can provide a safe space. You can provide a clean house. You can provide an organized environment. You can provide, there are multiple ways to provide. And yet, most people just limit themselves to one little corner. And same with nurturing. Nurture and care can take on many roles. So when they first said that, I was like, these labels y'all are saying are going to bite you in the butt. Now, Eleni wants someone who can provide a secure environment for her when she goes to school. And Anton may not see that role as provision. Maybe for him, provision is just financial. They should have talked about what provision means for him and what nurturing means for her. They never discussed it. They just said, I'm the provider, I'm the nurturer. Okay, let's go together, without concrete definition of what that actually means and what that actually looks like. Because now he's like, wait, you expect me to do the cooking and the cleaning while you're in school? Yes, that is called providing a safe space. But they never talked about what providing looks like. Maybe for Anton, as most men, providing usually means financial. That is why when men don't have a certain amount of money, they feel like they're inadequate because they have been advertised, you are the provider, and providing means financial. Although there are multiple ways of provision. The same with women. Advertise, you are the nurturer, and nurturer means you clean, you cook, and you support your husband. Yet, providing and nurturing can be so much more. And this dynamic with one partner going to school, the other partner picking up the slack, I've usually seen it. But the partner was male. Define what these labels actually mean to you as an individual. Define the label and tell your partner what you expect. That's it. Moving on to Calabria and Edmund. Calabria meets Edmund's mom. And listen, I have a very strong intuition. Initially, I was just like, I don't want to go too hard on this lady. But she decided to put herself on national television and say a bunch of caca. So let's go in. The whole time I'm watching the interaction, I'm like, I hope this is the foster mother and not the bio mother, because how dare she? But she said something along the lines of, she doesn't just want to pass off her boys. She wants to make sure they're well taken care of and all of that. Of course, a mother would want her sons to be well taken care of, loved, cherished, and everything. But if this is a bio mom, you did not provide that to your own sons. Let's call a spade a spade. Your son was property of the state. Your son was in the foster care system because you were neglectful and you could not provide every single thing you're expecting another young woman to provide to your sons. I hope this is the foster mother, because if this is a bio mom, I'm going to keep my comments to myself. But during their interaction, I was just like, something about this woman is off. I don't like it. Something in the water is not clean. I hope this is a foster mom, because, ma'am, what do you mean? You expect another woman to love, cherish, protect, support your son when you were incapable of doing any of those. In their most formative years, by the way, when they needed it the most. There are scientific articles out there. If a child is not held, show love, care, of affection, they grow up to be messed up. And judging from your son's emotional instability, something was clearly lacking. Now, if this is a foster mom, I'm not blaming her. She did her best with what she had. All right. But if this is the bio mom, y'all got some nerve. Some nerve. Jordan meets Megan's sister and mother. And oh my gosh, the energy here was so much better. The energy here was so much better. Megan's mom is a jester just like Jordan. Love it. And they meet on the anniversary of her father who had type 1 diabetes passing away. I was like, Megan, that is a lot. Megan, that is a lot. And Megan's sister apparently had a dream from her father who had passed away saying Jordan's son is exactly like him. At first, I was like, okay, Jordan's son has type 1 diabetes. Her father died from type 1 diabetes complication. Coincidence. After her sister said it was a dream, I'm like, I'm here for it. I am here for it. If you don't know anything about me, I am a big believer in dream message, okay? I know there's no scientific backing, but I don't think our dreams are just illusions, all right? I think there is a message. And although in this relationship, I was like, coincidence, now I am on board. I actually like them as a couple. I think Jordan needs to do a little more like balancing between being goofy and being mature, but he has been so good so far. So after her sister said that, I was like, I'm on board. I am on board on the Megan Jordan train. Your sister had a dream. I'm here. Forget logic. I believe it. Moving to Anton and Alini. Anton and Alini meet Anton's friend and his girlfriend of 4 months. No family members, just friends. That's fine. They do talk, and the women both go to the bathroom, and Alini finds out that Anton is into strip clubs. He's a party boy. He loves drinking. And she thought it was actually his friend who influenced him, and they weren't two peas in a pod. And I'm just like, Alini, have you ever met a man before? No offense. But whenever they're like, oh yeah, my friend forced me to do this. My friends, they're the same. They are the same as your friends. They're not that different. Sometimes, 9 times out of 10 though, there are some times when they really are the reserved friend who just has a party friend. Most of the time, they're on the same wavelength. They're on the same BS meter. Come on, girl. She was shocked. I'm shocked you don't know. Anyways, okay, so moving on to episode 9. Jordan baked chicken for 30 seconds, blended it in a ninja blender, and drank it. That was disgusting. I have never seen something so disgusting in my life. I am surprised Megan tried it. And he claims it's natural protein. Jordan, just make a protein shake like everyone else. That is so nasty. So episode 9 did not have much. It was just a couples talking, and more talking. I wasn't very interested. I wanted to see the podcast. So we're just going to run to the podcast. So all the couples, they go to this rodeo type thing. There's a bull in the middle. They're having fun. The couples who went to Baja get there first. They're having fun. Edmund gets on the bull and he's just doing his thing. And Calibia is there cheering him on. That's her boo. Go, babe. Woohoo. One of the first pod members to come in is Patrick. Patrick comes in. He goes to the boys and he tells them Casey kept the ring. Casey. I did not think she could sink any lower than she did, but apparently she can. You kept the ring from someone you're not attracted to. Granted, I'm actually one of those women who think you should keep the ring, but it depends. Like if you had a long love story, you thought this was the love of your life, or maybe if you have gone through ups and downs, you've been through challenging moments together, but you've also been through really nice moments together. This man proposes and this is something disgusting. He cheated. Yeah, keep the ring. Definitely. No comments asked. But when you are not attracted to someone, you lie to their face that you won't go to Baja with them because you feel overwhelmed. And it's not because of physical attraction, yet you have the audacity to keep the ring. You broke a... What is wrong with you? Ew. I can't believe there are actually women out there who act like this. That's gross. So other pod members come in. Brendan comes in and he talks with Annie. Then Annie turns to the audience and she says, Brendan in the pause was saying she's his number one, but he's not giving her the same energy now. And I'm just like, Annie, you are engaged. You expect a man to run after you when you're engaged? What is wrong with these women? The Colorado women this season leave a lot to be desired. I have not actually been so infuriated with the female cast on a Love is Blind show before this season. And trust me, there have been some crazy ones. Except for Megan, this cast really takes a cake. So speaking of Megan and Mike talk. Mike is trying to weasel his way into an engaged woman's affair. Weird. Even though he says it's not, he's still like asking questions, alluding to the fact that is she happy and did she make the right decision? Which she does say yes. She made the right decision. And she's used to men who are like Mike. Arrogant, stuck up, insufferable know-it-all, thinking they're the center of the universe because of their intelligence. Megan had been there, done that. And now she wants to do things differently. Yeah. Megan, it is what it is. You make perfect sense to me. I am still happy she did not pick Mike. Although I'm like, Jordan, there's a lot of growth that needs to happen. I would take Jordan's potential over Mike. Anytime. So Anna comes in and Anna and Patrick have a conversation. And Anna basically gaslights him. Patrick said she was his number one. She had always been his number one. If she had lasted, they would have made it at the end together. And Anna is basically like, well, if I'm your number one, why did you get engaged to another girl? Casey ain't ish. Okay? And because she ain't ish, she kind of redeemed Anna in my eyes. But I also don't want Anna for Patrick. I don't. Anna, you're lying. When I was reviewing this show, I was like, Patrick is only going to pick you because you're Asian. He didn't even give Casey a chance. And he was right. She was a very distant number two, as in she was the only option that was not Anna. It's only Anna, and then the option that's not Anna was Casey. That's it. He wasn't involved with her like that. They were just, I actually thought they had a lot in common, but he wanted to be with Anna. But she's still gaslighting him. If I'm your number one, why would you get engaged to someone else? Because you left. What's the man supposed to do? Go home and not do nothing? He came on the show to get married. The women leave a lot to be desired. That's all I'm going to say. Honestly, I think Anna could have farted on Patrick's face and he would have still picked her over Casey. But she's here trying to gaslight this man. I don't know. I think Anna and Blake might actually be together. She wanted someone to run after her, and I would not be surprised if Blake actually ran after Anna because they had a strong connection in the pod. After she left, Blake decided to leave and they probably met up. And that's why now she's trying to gaslight Patrick, but she's in a relationship with Blake. I would not be surprised if the reunion comes out and Anna and Blake were actually dating the whole time. Alright, so later down the episode, Nick and Annie are together and they are performing love again. They're just like, I love you too, multiple kisses, multiple pecks. Like, this is a performance for Nick, okay? He needs to put on the show of his life. If he ever wants this type of arrangement, he knows he has to put on a show and he is putting it on. Edmund, the emotionally unstable man-child, since he's not an adult, does not know it is a performance and listens to Annie saying Nick is perfect. He takes that on as that is the best compliment you can ever give to your partner. And KB's kind of disturbed by that. You want someone to think you're perfect? We all have our faults because we're human. It's just a thing. We all have our flaws and we have things we're good at. And you want to be seen as perfect? He tells KB she has never given him a compliment. And when did she give him a compliment today? Cueing the previous scene when he was on the boat and she was literally complimenting and cheering him on. Edmund is just sinking lower and lower. Get this man off my screen. And reasonably, she gets mad and gets upset by that because she compliments him on a daily basis. How much freaking reassurance does an adult need? This man has the mind of a child. He needs constant attention, constant reassurance, constant this. You are not 2 years old, sir. Is he not almost in his 30s? What? But again, that emotional instability that happened in childhood, granted, it's not his fault, but the goal of his mom. Please let these two break up. In the trailer, we see her go to the altar. I don't even want to see that. Love is Blind does too much. Put this woman out of her misery already. Dang. After that weird encounter with Edmund that I don't want on my screen anymore, Kate and Nick meet and They have a conversation. She's just surprised how he could tell her he loves her and then tell another girl he loves her too. And he lies and says he told Annie that he loved Kate, which he didn't. Why would she be receptive to that? And the men are just laughing in the corner, comparing Brendan and Nick. And they're like, Brendan would pull out some moves. He's reserved, but he's the type that you're like, you might pull out some moves. Whereas Nick only does missionary. Yeah, Nick does missionary because he's on a mission to obtain this type of marriage. That's what the mission is. He's not going to let up. Eyes on the prize. Let me perform the idea of what I think a good husband looks like. That is the end of my review of Love is Blind Season 9, Colorado, Episode 7 through 9. Please let me know what you thought in the comment section below. I'm tired of seeing Edmund on my screen. I'm tired of production just like torturing Calibria. And honestly, other than Megan and Calibria, the women this season leave a lot to be desired. Not to say the women in previous seasons have been perfect, because I watch Love is Blind Friends. Some of those ladies were. But this season, the gaslighting, the dishonesty, the mixed signals, it's a lot. If you cannot have an adult conversation with someone because you don't want them to look at you like the villain or the bad guy, you're not ready for an actual mature relationship. Being an adult means knowing some people are going to like you, other people are not going to like you. In some people's eyes, you're going to be the hero. In other people's eyes, you're going to be the villain. It's called life. It happens to all of us. You cannot please everyone. And if you want to break up with someone, break it off. Break it off. Let me know in the comment section below. I'll see you next week. Bye.